What is up, guys? It is me, Jude, again, back with another interview, and I am really excited about this interview. This artist is absolutely amazing. And without no further introduction, please allow me to introduce you to Bird. Bird, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. What a beautiful introduction. I don't know, I can't follow
Thank
that,
you.
can I?
Thank you for being able to sit down with me today and have this interview because I am really excited.
Great.
So the first question I have for you is, where are you from?
Well, my mum's Irish and my dad's English. So I'm from two countries, I guess, but I grew up in London. And right now I'm based between Italy and London.
So that's a very big difference, to be honest. So what drove you to being in Italy rather than being in England or Ireland?
Um, Work, family, a whole bunch of different circumstances took me there, but I still work in London a lot as well. I still have a little place in London, so I sort of work through both countries now, which is really nice.
That is really nice. Another question I have for you is, how did you get into the music industry, or as other people call it, the music game? So what was your story behind that?
The game. Yeah. So I started playing the cello when I was 6. And then I started playing the drums when I was 11. Started writing my own bits and bobs when I was a teenager and played in bands. Then when I left school, I worked in a recording studio just washing the dishes. And one day a cellist didn't turn up for a session on a pop session. And I was like, I can play cello. And they were like, go on then. And I did, and obviously did an all right job because from that I got a session agent. And my early career, I mainly worked as a session musician. So I was singing and playing cello and drums for bands that were signed to record labels. And then I got to my mid-20s and just went, I should be writing songs. Like that's what I like. So that's when I started working as a singer-songwriter.
That's fantastic. And you've just stolen my other question
Oh,
completely,
sorry.
which was, it's okay. The question was like, what instruments do you play? But I also have the other question, what other instruments would you have loved to play as a kid, or right now, what instrument would you like to pick up?
Oh, that's a really great question. Nobody ever asked me that actually. So as I said, I play the cello and the drums pretty well. But I'm as a writer, I regret deeply never learned classically to play either the guitar or the piano. I play them a little bit because I have to in order to write chords, but
Yeah.
I'm not very proficient on them. So I think my big regret probably be that I never learned to play piano really well as a kid because it's just such a great instrument to write on. So but I'm still learning. I take little online, like you can get like Simply Piano app.
Yeah.
Sit by the piano and I just work with that and I practice chords and play. So I'm sort of teaching myself, but I would have loved to have learned that young because when you learn young, it's you play in a different way, it's like
Very,
second
very
nature.
true.
So.
Very true. Yeah, because I play piano, drums, clarinet, and bass. I learnt piano when I was quite young, drums when I was quite young, clarinet, secondary schoolish kind of time, and then bass I picked up during lockdown. But my dad is actually a guitarist as well. And the one instrument I just can't master at all is the guitar. Like I can't get I always say it in different interviews, I can't get my hands around the chords, but I'm gonna try and go for those YouTube those YouTube tutorials because they really, really help. And alongside those YouTube tutorials, do you really think that's pushed you further into your music career, into your music game?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, as a musician, you never stop learning. Right? I mean, you know that because you're a fellow
Very
musician
true.
by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
So I think you're permanently learning, developing, learning your craft. I mean, I was in the States last week doing some songwriting with some amazing writers out there, some of whom were like 20 years older than me, and just thinking, and they're successful, they work with big artists, and you're like, what are you doing still doing writing camps? And like, because every single time we do this, we learn something new about our craft. And I love that about music. I love that you're sort of on this permanent journey of exploration. There's never too many instruments that you can learn or too many ways of writing a song. And so that's really nice. But I hear about the guitar thing. I also find it really difficult to wrap my hands around the chords. And I always thought it
It's
was
just
because
really
being a cellist,
strange.
I had learned to play physically in a certain way. So by the time I started playing guitar, it was like quite hard for me to wrap my hand around. But
It's like the
maybe it's
muscle
not.
memory.
No, 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 no.
Oh, it's amazing. And now I want you to delve back way back, as far as you can, from maybe the age of 2. Doesn't matter. I want to know. I want to know, what's the first ever song you made? It could be something silly. It could be something that you performed in public. Like, I want to know, because it's nice to see where musicians started and what pushed them to go into the path that they want to.
So made, not heard, right? You said made. So made. Well, I started writing like my own little bits of cello stuff when I was really young, when I was like 7 or 8. From the minute I knew that
Wow.
like there were notes, I would like
Yeah.
jump around and then write them down and play them in my own order. So, but I suppose a song I actually wrote as a singer-songwriter, like sat down thinking, I want to be a singer-songwriter. I want to
Yeah.
write songs for other people. Was a song called Stalker.
Oh.
I wrote on New Year's Day because I decided that if I was going to be a singer-songwriter, I should start at the beginning of the new year.
Oh, fair enough. Fair
I was
enough.
like, New Year's Day, I wrote a song called Stalker that I have never recorded or released, or to my knowledge, and not I can remember. And I still really like that song, actually. So maybe one day I'll share Stalker with the world, or maybe your first songs are not meant to be shared with the world. I don't know.
That's an amazing story, and it just shows once again that versatility. It really shows that versatility. Now, with old songs, I want to go into new songs. So, your new song, The Tides, I have listened to, and it is amazing. The thing is, I love all types of music, but this one, I love smooth kind of music. I love the smooth genre, and it really fits into different types of film genres. I can see it being played in the background for a film where there's a pan shot, or I can see it being played for an established. It's amazing, and I know that this was actually on an award-winning soundtrack for your own film, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I wrote actually the reason I wrote this short film is because I already had made that song. I had already made
Uh,
several songs actually, which one day will be an album, hopefully next year. And I didn't really know the best way as an independent artist to show people how sort of like sync friendly, how much I thought they were kind of visual songs that would sort of fit into TV and films. It's lovely to hear that
yeah,
somebody else thinks that too. And so I thought, well, the best way would probably be to put it in a film then. And like, short of finding someone else's film to put it in, I was like, well, I'll just write one then, I suppose.
fair
Like,
enough. Yeah,
why not? Sure.
yeah.
And so I did,
Mm.
and I sent it to a production company and they loved the script and they were like, well, let's just make this then. So the whole film, the whole short film, the music is composed around the tides. Actually, it's kind of recomposed versions of that song and a couple of others that hopefully I'll be releasing a little bit later down the road. And so yeah, the film was sort of born out of the music, which is quite kind of an odd way
Oh
around to
wow.
do it. Yeah. And then, likewise, then the kind of music grew and became something different because of the film, which is really nice. Like two artistic processes sort of informing each other, which was fun.
I do like how you said that you wrote it before the actual film, because with that it kind of sets the tone in a way, because me doing media as well, having something written before in your head with creativity, you can actually paint the picture in your mind, and you're like, oh, okay, then if that's there, then I can put this there, and then this could be this. So I like the way you think around that. I really like that. And I was thinking about you're welcome. I really liked what you said earlier about you writing your song Stalker at the start of the year because you felt like it would bring you more ideas for the new year. So, as 2024 is not that long away, I want to know, what are you most excited about for 2024? Do you have any upcoming tours? Do you have any new things that you want to kind of write, or what kind of plans do you have?
Yeah, I'm really excited for next year actually, because hopefully it'll be the year that we release an album worth of material. Certainly, I've got a soundtrack album that needs to come out. So I mean, that's definitely coming out early 24. And we're at the moment the film's doing around in film festivals around the world. So even towards the end of this year, we've still got another really busy 3 months where I'll be sort of going around going to film screenings of the festivals that the film's in, which is obviously deeply connected to the song. Hopefully, we'll have another single release in a couple of months' time as well, again connected to the film. So there's lots going on with that. So the beginning of 24 will probably be a little bit more of the same of that. We'll probably be attending some more film festivals and hopefully getting that soundtrack out. And then maybe towards further down the year, we'll start touring and put an album out as well. So it should be a really busy year next year, which is kind of exciting. Yeah.
That's good. It's always nice to keep yourself busy. And one of the last things I have is, What advice do you have for younger musicians, older musicians, anybody who wants to start out in this industry?
Oh, good question. Well, the first thing is don't do it for any other reason than because you have to do music, because your soul and your passion. I don't think it's something that you should do lightly. It's a beautiful, but it's a difficult journey. So if you're going to do it, you must do it because you really, really, really love to, not because you want to be famous, not because you want to be rich, because the chances of that happening are slim. And even if they do, be careful what you wish for. So it must come from a place of like pure passion, I think. The other thing is you should always make that touches you, because if it does, then it's guaranteed that at some point it will connect and touch someone else. And that's what the arts is all about. The arts is about, in general, be that film or music or painting. We're trying to connect with people. Artists make their work to make connections. And so the more you connect to it, the better your chances are of other people doing that too, if it being sort of, genuine. And that means not writing for like, fads. You shouldn't, if you start writing songs just because you think something will be popular, well, you'll probably have missed the boat. By the time yours comes out, they'll be on to the next trend anyways. So you should always write something because you feel like it's the right thing to write. So I think that'd be my 2 bits of advice for what it's worth.
Honestly, that is some really good advice for some musicians, because once again with TikTok, Instagram, it's get it out fast. And I like how you say you need to perfect your craft and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. I absolutely love that. And last thing, do you have any social medias that you'd like to shout out, or any websites that you'd like to shout out to anyone?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on everything, surprisingly, now. Like you have to be. So you can go on Spotify if you put in Bird the Tides. And then please download. If you like me, then please follow the account too, because it's all about having followers these days. And you can also follow me on Instagram. It's at Bird Official. And I'm also on Facebook and TikTok, all that stuff. I think TikTok is Bird Music, maybe not Bird Official, but yeah. But if you go to my website, which is www.birdofficial.com, all the links to all the socials are on there anyway, so you can find everything there.
Fantastic. Bird, thank you so much for joining me here today. You have been absolutely amazing.
Oh, great to meet you, and thanks for some really interesting questions. It's really nice.
You too.